And he was running and I was running and he was serving us, and it was so wonderful to see him. And I went to touch his feet and immediately he covered his feet. Everybody from all the lecturers, from all the people, VIPs who were there, the students, they started smiling back.
Sarah Madam, you were very fortunate to be part of the first summer course that was held in Bhagawan's Brindavan ashram 1972. Tell us about that experience.
Yes, it was at that time, 1972. Just before the summer course, it was on the 1st of May 1972, it started for 1 month. And it happened, I happened to be only girl from the Northeast. And the rest were all boys. And my brother, he was the Seva convener and he was in charge of us. He was the group leader. So we came in the train and I never saw Swami before, so we were all excited. None of us saw Swami before, except maybe for my brother, but none of us saw. And the whole journey, it was a 5 days journey from, we had to go in a narrow gorge and then shift into a broad gorge, and all those days, it took 5 days, and 5 days we were all thinking how Swami will be, how will he look like, how will he respond. And we were all, talking to each other about this. By the time we reached there, and our excitement even grew more. So once we entered the Brindavan ashram, that time it was very, very different. There was a small, to the left, there was a small 2-storied building, I remember. And there was maybe a swimming pool that was not even covered. And there was a
tank.
Yes, at that time. And Swami, it was a small building on the right side. And that was where we had the classes, the dining room, and there was shamiana given beyond that, where we could all sit and the lectures throughout the day were given. So once we entered the Brindavan ashram and we were allotted, I was the only one from Assam, so I had to mix up with anybody and whoever was near me. So next day, by the time we reached, it was evening. Next day, I excited when we went to see Swami. And early in the morning, he was there for breakfast and he was serving us, and it was so wonderful to see him. He was very young at that time. I don't know, maybe 32, 34 years. And then he was serving us breakfast, eat more. That started from the first day itself. And we had to hurry up because all the people were waiting. There was a long list of lecturers, starting from, there was Dr. Bhagawan, there was Kasturi, there was Indra Devi, and we had one whole month of yoga with her, and they were all Vedic scholars. That time we didn't know much about Vedas, but we had to go through all this, every day listen to the Vedas and how they taught us. And the main thing, the best thing was the discourse, Swami's discourse, every day for those 30 days. It was just wonderful. And then it was during those days, Swami would constantly be with us. I mean, we just felt as though he was one of us. We never thought he was some, so much like God. It didn't even strike us, that he was so different. But that time he was just one of us. And then during breakfast, during lunch, during tea break, during dinner, he would be with us all the time, except for during the lectures that we had. That time he would be here and there guiding everyone and especially he would go to the kitchen to see what was being served, what was being made. He was very particular about that. And then he would serve us ice creams. Oh my God, he would say, ice cream is love. You have it. It is sweet. You put it in your mouth, it melts. So this 1 month passed so fast. But it was during one of those days that because I was the only girl from Assam, that my brother came and said, Dr. Bhagawan wants to talk to you. I said, okay. I just went.
Dr. Bhagawantam.
Yeah, Dr. Bhagawantam. Then he said, he had a paper on his hand. He said, you read it. I just read 2 lines. I said, okay, tomorrow you are going to read this. It was a summary every day. I'm giving it to you is a summary of the whole day's whatever lectures were happening, and you have to just read it out. So that was, he gave me the chance to read in front of him. So my brother, he instructed me, he told me, see, before you enter, you have to touch Swami's feet. And after you finish, you go and touch his feet. I said, okay. And so, when I was called, I went looking here and there, and I saw Swami sitting in the side. He was sitting on the steps with his, legs slightly bending. He was just, aram se he was sitting. And I went to touch his feet, and immediately he covered his feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and well, for me, okay, normal, it was just normal. I touched his feet, and I came, and I went to up the dais, and I had the paper in my hand, and suddenly Swami was standing next to me. And he said, he called someone, ye chota hai, mic niche karo, because I'm not very tall also.
Yeah, the mic to be brought down because of your height.
So that's what he said, and he went off. And I was there, and as I was standing, I gave a smile. It was all pin drop silence, and I gave a smile. And immediately, everybody from all the lecturers, from all the people, VIPs who were there, the students, they started smiling back, and you could hear the ripple of laughter. You know, it was so wonderful. I mean, you smile. That's what Swami says. You smile, and they smile back at you. That's how love goes from you to everybody. It doesn't cost to smile. So that was God. It was just came naturally and went. And then later on, after I finished reading, I went looking for Swami. As I went, I couldn't see him here and there, nowhere. Then in the far end, I saw him through the window. I saw him in the dining hall. And he was there. Suddenly he comes out running. I don't know what got into me. Even I started running. And he was running, and I was running, and everybody was smiling, and they're enjoying the sight. And he was coming, lifting up his gown, his robe. And then I went there. I just bent down, touched his feet. Nothing was in my mind. I tell you, it was just blank. And I touched his feet. And that was over. Oh, it was just too wonderful. And then that was how I got his first Padanamaskar. And of course, Sambhashan, because that's how, everything was there. The discourse was there. It was so nice.
He loved playing with you. Before you started, he tried to cover his legs. He was just playing with you like little Krishna plays. And then once you finished, he ran to you to bless you. Wow.
I saw Mother Ishwaram. Suddenly he created a bunch of visiting cards. He sang just one line. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song.